Spoken to me obviously a lot
Mm.
about the positive experiences you've had in Ireland with your neighbours in Thurles and some of the people you've met.
Mhm.
I mean, have you had any negative experience? Have you experienced racism here or xenophobia?
Like for me personally, no. Actually, I didn't. Like I heard some stories here and there, like very rare. Once happens, like in the 6 years I've been here for now, I heard it once. It happens with my wife's niece. It
Mm,
happened once in the city center, so it could happen anywhere. It just
okay,
small thing happened. They drag her hijab and all this, but uh, it's only once in 6 years.
really?
So you can't consider it as very, very, very rare here.
Okay,
I've never been in any any bad situation here in Ireland at all. Like, all the
okay.
people I met, they were very friendly.
So
You know,
you find that Ireland is a good place for the Muslim
it's
community in
yeah,
general.
it's for me like as I talk about my brother, the situation in France, in
Mm,
Germany, in all those places. Like for me, Ireland is the best.
really.
Yeah,
And have they
yeah.
had difficulties in other countries?
There is many, like especially in Germany you can hear loads of stories.
Mm,
I know because there's too many Syrians there, but then it's still you have too many people who are racist
mm,
at the same time. And in France the situation was the same.
mm,
Like if you're a foreigner, it just sometimes it do happen. Like my
mm.
brother had few stories,
Yeah, yeah.
It's sometimes like the weird thing, it happens from the foreigners themselves
Really.
who have been, get the citizenship of that country. They
Mm,
consider themselves as, we are the, people of this country and the rest are foreigners. But
mm,
look, it just, it do happens. It do
mm,
happens. Like my brother happens with him was from a foreigner, actually.
mm,
A story with a foreigner that he was talking to him as, you are the foreigner that you have, why don't you come back to your country? And like, what about your country?
yeah, and
It's
once
just,
again, as we said in a previous interview,
yeah,
that again, I think the Irish have, when it comes to immigration, the Irish
yeah,
have a lot of
indeed.
empathy there because, I mean, we went to Britain, we went to Australia,
Yeah,
we went
yeah.
to America. There's more Irish living abroad than living here.
Yeah,
So,
and that's really common history. Even you can't find it as a meeting point. Like what happens in Ireland 100 years ago. It happens in Syria now. So it's the exact same thing happening. When the famine happens, I heard that about half of the population left. So it's more than the same in Syria now. More than half of the people left the country, which is the exact same happening.
yes, yes. And then the
Yeah,
famine, we lost
yeah,
over half our population.
yeah.
And what do you like most about living here?
Now the how quiet is the country?
Really, well, yeah.
Like, I came from a very busy city. Like
Mm,
Aleppo, as I said, it's the economy capital of Syria. So it was a really busy city and always noises, and you can't find quiet in anywhere. That's why my father decided to go out to the
and
suburbs.
just remind me, what was the population of Aleppo
6 million.
6 million, so significantly larger
Yeah,
than Dublin.
yeah.
I mean, larger than all of Ireland.
Yeah,
Really.
exactly. Like it's just like the size of Ireland of population are all in space as Dublin.
Hmm.
In the same size as Dublin, you have 6 million.
Yes.
It's really very busy city. It's all factories and all this things, companies, all this. It's in the same city, so it's just too busy
Okay.
and noises.
So in comparison, Ireland is a much calmer place.
Much calm,
Right.
much calm. It's quiet, calm. Like, and you have the good thing that for me as Syrian who came here, I have many opportunities to do. Like when the very first months that I did the English course, I met people. I was going just to the street to meet people, to talk to them, just to improve my English. And then when I went to Thurles, I had a proper course of English. And then I had the opportunity to go into college.
Hmm.
So because Thurles, there was no option.
Yeah.
So I moved to Dublin.
Okay.
I registered in a course here for mechanical engineering. And they welcomes me. I was 27 years old. I was going with students who were 18 and 17, and it was very easy for them. It's normal, everything's fine, while I never think about that
And that's
option.
closer to what you would have liked to have studied, isn't it?
Exactly.
In
It was
theory,
actually
yeah.
it was a plan for me.
Mhm.
Like since I came here, as I said, like since my foot touched the ground here,
Mhm.
I said, look, I'll have a new start here. I will start from zero because I lost all the paperwork that for my college. Couldn't get them actually from the college, so I had nothing to prove that I was studying in college. So I said, here, look, I'm gonna get my degrees and I'll see what's the options. So when the very first few weeks I was asking about what can I do if I want to go to college, and what surprised me that was you have the option to go to anywhere, whatever you want. So I contacted a few universities to ask what's the requirement and all this. So I spent the first year and a half studying English, and then I went to mechanical engineering course. It's called PLS. PLC, sorry, PLC course, yeah, in mechanical engineering, just to have a basics of engineering to go to aerospace engineering, and then I went to Carlo, and now I'm fourth year.
Is that your final year now?
Yes,
Oh,
on graduation.
that's great. That's yeah.
Yeah, so
and a bit of a different experience at the moment, university.
yeah, like it's I came back to college, but now after 10 years.
Wow.
I lost 10 years during this.
And as you said, I mean, one thing struck me that you said there is that you
Yeah.
had to start from zero. And that's something I think that's very difficult for people to get their head around.
When you have no option, it just when you actually it was kind of what they call it a benefit for me, or not a benefit actually. It just something that we call it luxury. It was a luxury for me to have the option to start from zero, because many other Syrians, millions of Syrians who are stuck in Lebanon and Turkey and Jordan and Egypt and all those countries surrounding Syria, they don't have that option. They don't have the option to start even. They just staying there to leave their day. What happens next? They don't really have the option to think about it. So when I came here, I had that option. I said, look, I'll take that chance and
what would you ultimately like to do after college?
Mostly, like, I'm planning to go into designing in airplanes and parts and systems, because now I'm studying in aircraft systems, the electronical systems. So it's called control systems in airplanes. So I'm trying to go into designing those type of systems in airplanes. So it depends, or I will go to leasing, which is in the main land of leasing is Ireland.
Okay.
So yeah, so I have those two options. I'm thinking about them. It depends what we can get with companies. I have two options. I might go to the army. Who knows?
Right. Okay.
But I contacted the army last week actually. They want some employees from airplanes or aerospace background education, and I went to them and said, look, can I apply? They said, at the moment you can't because you are over 27.
Okay.
But they might change that if they need too much people. So it depends.
Okay.
I have all the options.
And you're hoping to apply for citizenship as well, is that right?
Yes, actually I did apply, but now at the moment because of the Brexit, then the coronavirus lockdown and all this like delays the process of the application, and now I'm trying since 2017. I didn't get an answer till now, but hopefully maybe I get it one day.
And would you like to return to Syria someday?
Of course, look, at the end it's my home place, but it's all my memories, all my childhood, everything I have, it was in Syria, and in that city, Aleppo especially. But for the near future, I don't think there's an opportunity. Whenever that regime stays there, that's not only my situation, that's most of the Syrians who's outside Syria. That's the same situation, that they can't return. Like, I hope if I can return, at the end it's my home country, but no.
And what do you think, in your opinion, what would have to happen in Syria so that you would be in a position to be able to return?
It's one word: peace. And but peace means that you can live there peacefully. But the thing is, for most of the Syrians who's like me, who were in the opposition, who have been arrested before, who have stories against the government and things like that, their names will be kept with the government if they still empower those names, they don't have the option to come back. Because, you know, we have that experience before, as I said, in the 80s when the revolution happens. Everyone who went out and he was doing things against the government, they're not allowed to come back.
Yeah.
And whoever comes back, he disappear. He never reaches home, and he never come back to where he was before. From the airport, missed. That's it. So, as long as that regime is there, there is no option for us. You know, and at the moment, even for the people who, you know, doesn't have that problem, still the problem of safety, because, you know, still the war's still going on in many parts of Syria. It's still there's, you know, now there's no safety because many of the militias, they taking power, the system all over is corrupted, so you can't be safe there. You can't be safe. Like, I still have my sister over there, and, you know, she didn't have the opportunity to go out, and she's still trying to survive. So,
And would she like to leave?
of course,
Yeah. And she
like,
can't at the moment.
there's no Syrian now who's civilian, and living in Syria doesn't wish to leave that country because, you know, it's a country of war. You have no safety of your soul. You have no safety over anything. Like, you can't trust that tomorrow you can't find the bread even. Like, you have it today, but you don't know. Maybe tomorrow it will disappear just like that, you know. And then you try to struggle to find that. Many of the basics are missing in Syria now, and where my sister is living, like, the electricity comes only 2 hours a day. They have electricity power. Other than that, there's no power. Water comes once in 4 or 5 days at the moment. So you have to fill all your tanks, and suddenly, like, there's no appointment, there's no time. It just suddenly happens. Then you rush. It's just, you know, struggling with every basic thing that you need in your life. You know, so anyone in Syria who wishes to leave, it's not because you don't like the country. Just, you know, you can't just leave there because there's no basic life, you know.
And are you hopeful that there can be peace in the future?
There will be, definitely there will be. There is no war continues forever. Like, there will be an end point for it. It could take time. Now it takes 10 years. It might take another 10 years. Who knows? But, you know, as any country in the world, every country has its own war and its own special situations. But at the end, it won't continue. This man who leading that country now, he will either die or be killed, or he'll leave one day. Like, you know, there will be. I hope I can see that day.
Well,
You know,
I think at that point we'll end it there, and I certainly join you in saying that, like, I hope that you'll see the day as well where
Hopefully.
peace returns to
We still
Syria and freedom, and
Thank you.
and that
Hopefully
your children can know their country as well.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Ayman.
Thank you, Barry. No problem at all. Thank you so much.